All right, welcome back to season 7 of our show, and today we're cooking up two of America's favorites, steak and lobster. Let's show you how to get it done. Look at these steaks. This is 8 pounds worth of chuck steak. If we decided to cook these up, we're either going to cook them for a very long time, or you're going to have to do a whole lot of chewing if we just turn these into steaks by themselves. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn these into burgers. Look at these lobster tails. Those are about 4.5 to 5 ounce lobster tails. And we're going to take these and turn those into a wonderful pasta. So the first thing we need to do is cut the steak up. So I'm gonna get this off to the side. Now I always start by grinding up my steaks, and the reason why we're grinding these up is we're doing steak burgers, right? So what goes better with lobster than steak burgers? So I'm gonna take these and just cut them up nicely and make sure they get down our grinder. Now I always use chuck and I leave all the fat on here, just because chuck offers lots and lots of fat, and that's what you want when you're grinding up meats. You want that fat, especially in a burger, because you don't want a dry burger. If you're doing 90% lean burgers, if they're for health reasons, that's one thing, but if they're not, you're wasting your money. So always grind up your meats, and the more fat in that burger, the more flavor you're gonna have. So that's what I believe in. So we're gonna get these cut up, and when we get finished getting these cut up, we'll meet you back here to grind them up. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, meat's cut up. It's time to get it ground up. Let's show you how to get it done. All right, so here's our meat nice and cut up. Now we're throwing this through the grinder. And this grinder is a cheap $50 grinder. That's right, very inexpensive grinder. I have a bigger, larger grinder, but for just stuff around the house, simple household equipment, this is all you need right here. Because a hand grinder will do the same thing, but this is just a little bit quicker. Take a look at these. These are dies. I'm using this one today, which is called a chili cut. This way the meat goes through the grinder a little bit thicker. So we're gonna take our meat, go in. Now if you cut the meat perfectly and cut it like this, you're not going to need the stopper because it'll just go in and it'll pull down by itself and it'll go through. If you have little pieces coming to the end, you can push through with that, but most of them, if they're cut like this, they'll go right through, and you can use one to push the other. Your hand will never reach down where the blade is down here, and that's it. I'm going to grind this up, meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, and that is it. Now what you want to do from here is lightly just move it around, but don't disturb it too much. All right, I'm going to take this, get this inside the refrigerator, I'm going to chill it down, and then we're going to prep up the rest of the goodies, and then we're going to come back and make some burgers, so stick around, don't go anywhere. Take a look at that ground meat. That's looking right. And look at that nice fat ratio in there. This is why I love chuck. You know, it's funny, when you buy chuck in the stores, they tell you it's 85% lean, but you know, it's got a lot of fat in it. This is why you always want to grind your own meat. All right, so let's just form this up. You see, it didn't take long at all to form that up, and I didn't pack it in. I'm gonna put this here. It's about a half a pound burger. And we're just gonna keep them about that size. Now I'm gonna make up a couple of trays of these guys. And the nice part about this, you can make up different flavors if you want. If you want to put, I'll take a little bit off of there, too big. If you want to put whatever seasonings you want to put on here, you don't have to be obligated with just one seasoning. So don't season them early and just do them at the end like I'm doing now. You don't need to season the middle of the burger because you want to taste that meat. But the outside, you can pretty much hit it hard, like I'll show you when we're done with this tray. So this is going to make a lot. 8 pounds worth of meat, right? And look how many burgers we have here. It'll take up all 3 trays. So I'm going to finish this up, and we're going to come right back here and show you how to season them up. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, we got those burgers made up. Let's season them up. 8 pounds of meat. We should have 16 burgers here. We got 13 here. I saved a couple off to the side for my doggies because that's just the way it is. All right, let's get these onto the bench. Now I'm gonna just roll with 5 for tonight. Now I made a lot of these up because we have Labor Day weekend coming up on us. And this is gonna be our Labor Day weekend meal. All right, so let's go with some salt. Always salt and pepper first, and you'll see why. So get them on that side. A little black pepper. Don't be afraid to get it a little bit on the tray because we're going to use it up anyway. So a little of the black pepper. Now here I made some seasonings myself. Onion powder, garlic powder, a little oregano, a little thyme in here, touch of sage, and that's just what I'm rolling with. Make these seasonings yours. Whatever flavors your family likes or yourself, just use them. You don't have to go by me. All right, so we got that on there. I'm gonna turn it over and just repeat. Now you see that olive oil there? That's a spray. We're just gonna spray them down with that afterwards. So here's the salt. Like I said, you got some on the tray there. Some of those seasonings, a little bit more pepper, a little bit heavy-handed there, but it's all right. We'll get it up off the tray. There it is. Here's our rub, or spices in here. Now we'll just move that black pepper around, and we're just gonna roll these guys around. Roll the sides, reshape them, just like that. And now you're pretty much good to go. Now we're gonna oil these up because never oil your grill. Always oil the food. And you're guaranteed not to stick, and you'll always have a pretty color on your food, and that's what you want. A lot of people don't oil their food and they go onto the grill or into a pan with it, and that food's not oiled. It's not gonna cook right. It's not gonna look right either, especially if you go in your oven. It's almost like going to the beach. You wouldn't put tanning lotion on and not sit in the sun, right? You put the tanning lotion on and you would go and tan up. We're doing the same thing with this, so this is equal to tanning lotion. Just turn them over and repeat. That's it. And there you have it. Hit them with a good douse and just rub them back in there and pick up everything that's left over on the tray, because I believe in waste not, want not. All right, we're gonna get organized and we're gonna come back here. We're gonna cut those lobsters up and show you that beautiful side of the meal, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, it is time for our lobster, and we're showing you how to do it 2 ways. All right, so here's our lobster tails. Now, 2 dishes, like I said. The first one we're gonna do is we're just gonna steam these, and we're gonna show you how to get these out of the shell. So we're gonna take our lobster tail, put it down, back of the knife here, just come in. Now I'm gonna come in from this angle right here. This is where you wanna kinda hit it from. So I'm gonna just tap and then rock my knife over and tap through the top. Make sure you don't go all the way through, and then slide your blade back. And then you'll be able to open up the shell, just like that. If there's anything in there, you wanna clean it out. So here's the tail. I'm gonna pull it out. I'm gonna make sure I cut through the tail some more. And if there's anything in here that you need to get out of here, just make sure you get it out of there. See? So here is the vein that you want to get out. Right there. So we're going to make sure we get this out of here. Just like that. Now at the end, we're going to run these under some water and clear them out some more, but that's basically what you want to do. Just get them out of there. And then get the lobster on top of the shell like that. And then in the basket, it goes. So I'm going to put it over here like that. Now I'm going to stand this up in the shell, and we're going to steam them right on top of the shell. And I'm going to put some butter in here to hold them up, as I'll show you afterwards. They'll be standing on top of the butter, and they're going to stand like that. The butter's going to melt. We're going to hit them with a little water and some steam, and that's it. The second one, I'm going to take another tail. I'm going to come through. I'm going to go all the way through. Straight through. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to take out the meat. And this is what's going in our lobster pasta. I want a gentle flavor to this. So we're going in with a cold pasta, and that's what I'm doing. Let's just look at that tail. Get that out of the end of the tail. And that's it. So now you got a clean lobster tail. Just look through. Now, of course, we're gonna run these under the water and rinse out everything in here, but that's it. So when you come back, I'm gonna have all this situated and ready to show you how to cook all this up. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, we got our lobster all cut up. First dish, the lobster salad. So the first thing we need to do is boil our lobster. So here's that lobster. I cut those tails up. Now the other tails are on standby, but for right now, we're gonna do these. This is how much water you're gonna need. See that little bit of water in here? That's all you need. You don't wanna boil the life out of these. So this pasta dish is extremely simplistic. We've got pasta. We're using the bow tie noodles right here. This is what you're gonna need. I got some of these in the refrigerator. I boiled them early in advance. They're chilling out. I got a red onion, parsley. This is Italian parsley, capers, and a little bit of mayonnaise. That's it. On the stove we go. All right, our water is boiling. Just like that. Let's get our lobster in. See that? Just a very little amount of water. Let's get the lid on. It's on high heat. We're gonna give that about 3 minutes, and then we're gonna pull it out and chill it down in cold water, just to stop the cooking. That's it. We'll meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, we are done. Take a look at that. See that? That's what you want. Now we're gonna take it and right into ice water we go to stop the cooking. And that's it. We're gonna leave it in here, let it cool down, and then we're gonna put it in the fridge, let it cool down, and we'll meet you back here and show you the rest of this. Don't go anywhere. All right, our lobster has cooled down. Let's put the salad together. So here's those bow ties. We boiled them, put them in the refrigerator, let them chill out. We got some mayonnaise here. That's Duke's. Purple onion cut up. I'm gonna start with that. I like to see my amounts first, so I'm gonna mix this up. And then watch for color too. So that looks pretty nice right there. I don't want to overpower this lobster. There's only 2 people eating tonight, so I only cut up just a little bit of lobster. All right, so now I'm gonna get in some greenery. There's some parsley, Italian parsley. I'm just gonna give it a little chop and cut this up. And you gotta watch this one too, that you don't go overboard with this either. So I'm not gonna go really fine with this. I'm gonna leave these in some nice pieces, because I want the salad to look pretty rustic. So I'd say about there. Let's put some in. You can always add more at the end. And then we'll go about there and get that mixed up. It's looking right already. Here are the capers. I'm gonna go in with a couple of capers in here. You don't want to go in with too much because they're extremely salty. So you just want to watch the caper level. Black pepper, I'm gonna go in with just a little bit of that. See, if you mayonnaise this thing up, it's gonna be hard to move around. So that's why you want to put the mayo in at the end. So I'm gonna look around. I want just a couple of more of those capers. I'm just gonna sprinkle just a little bit more in there. And now I'm gonna start to hit this with my mayo. I'll start off with about that much. Now we don't want a bunch of mayo in here. We want just a small amount. This way that lobster doesn't get lost in the sauce. All right, so here we go. That's looking about right. I don't think I really need any more mayonnaise in there. Get that mixed up. All right, and here's our lobster. Let's get that in. And we're gonna mix that up. See the ratio of lobster? There's only 2 people eating, so like I said, we're fixing this meal for Labor Day. I'm showing you guys what we're having for a Labor Day weekend dinner. There it is. All right, so we're looking right over there. I'm gonna bring in a bowl. And we're just gonna add that right into our bowl. All right, let's give this a little shakedown. I'm gonna clean up my edges here. Shake it down some more. There it is. And then I'm just gonna take some fresh parsley. Just put it right over the top. Just like that. And we'll refreshen right before we're about to serve it, but doesn't that look fantastic? Can't go wrong with that. Look how fresh and rustic that looks. So just get some parsley around there. Separate it out. Make it look pretty. There you have it. All right, we're all done with that. I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator. When we come back here, we're gonna show you how to make those hamburgers, but first we gotta make some green tomatoes to go on top of those hamburgers. That's what we're gonna do, some fried green tomatoes. You're gonna love that one. We'll meet you right back here. Stick around, don't go anywhere. All right, we're gonna do these burgers up, and on top of these burgers are going fried green tomatoes. Let's show you how to get these done. So this is one of my favorite southern treats to put on top of a burger, green tomatoes. So here's our tomato. What is a green tomato? It's just an unripe tomato. When you leave these in the sun, they're gonna turn red. That's what that is. I'm gonna chop off the very top, because you don't wanna fry that up. And then we're gonna just thin slices, just like that. We're just gonna fry up a couple of these. And that's it. And the ends, you can save those, put some salt on them, eat them. That's what a lot of people do. I'm gonna do this one. So I'm gonna chop off the very end. And then just gonna start very thin slices, just like that. So we've got some cornmeal and some flour here. So that's what these guys are being fried up in, is cornmeal and flour. We're gonna show you that when we get to the stove, and we got a little egg mixture here, right after we just cut this. All right, so we got an egg mixture here, and what I'm doing with the egg, I'm gonna go in with a little salt and pepper. So this way you got flavor in the egg, and the egg is gonna hold everything together, so go in with a good amount of that, and we're just gonna beat that up, just like that. And now you got that covered. That's our yellow cornmeal. We're using avocado oil, and this is how much we're frying it. So I'm using a very small, shallow pan because I don't want to use a lot of oil. I'm gonna do a couple of batches, and we're just gonna get them out, but just enough for a couple of hamburgers tonight, and that's all we're doing. We'll meet you onto the stove. All right, so we got some oil heating up, and what I did was I dropped a few of these green tomatoes inside the egg. I'm gonna put them inside the flour. Let's just mix that up, get it over. I'm gonna go back inside my egg with it. And then I'm going right into our cornmeal. Just like that. And I'm gonna take it and get it in. You can practice keeping your hands clean, that's how you want to do that. So we'll go right back into the flour, get it mixed up. Into our egg wash, both sides, and then into the cornmeal. Get it mixed up, just like that. And then into the fry. There you have it. All right, I'm gonna finish this up, and then we're gonna meet you guys right back here and show you the rest of this, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, about 2 minutes aside, we're just gonna get these turned over. See how I'm flipping them? I'm flipping them towards each other so I don't get a splash. So just take them, flip them towards each other, push them over. You're not going to have a problem. Just like that. We're going to fry up some more of these and we're going in with some gorgeous burgers. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Alright, it is time to pull these guys. Look at these. See, both sides are looking right. Now if you want, you can go a little bit more with them. I like about that color. Sometimes if you go more with them, the coating will start to come off if you make them too dark, so don't do that. Give them a little drain and then get them right onto a rack. That's it. We're going to fry up the rest of these guys and we're going to meet you back here, so don't go anywhere. All right, we are at the last stop on this train. Steak burgers and lobster tails. Let's show you how to get them done. Check out our burgers. All seasoned up and ready to go. Now, this is tallow. This is what we're frying these in. That's how much tallow you're gonna need for just these 4 burgers. Like I said, these burgers are a half a pound each. That's how much tallow you're gonna need. Look at these lobster tails. So I got these guys sitting on butter. And right before we're about to go on the eye with them, I'm gonna put a little bit of white wine down the bottom here. This way the butter melts into the wine. The wine's gonna steam off. By the time the wine steams off, the lobster tails will be cooked and it's gonna get plenty of flavor into those tails. And we'll put these on right before we're about to pull the burgers out. That's it, let's do it. All right, let's get them in. Now you see how much oil you're gonna need? Now for you guys that aren't familiar with frying burgers in a pot, this is one of the nicest way to fry these. Look how thick they are. We're gonna put the lid on as well too, after we turn them over and get the inside to cook. So we're just gonna lay them in here. Once you get them in, do not move them, don't disturb them. They're in, they're on medium heat. We're gonna give them a little rock. Just like that. And don't touch them. At this point, build up a nice crust on the outside, about a medium heat, and then we're going to turn them over in about 3 minutes. Just let them cook nice and even, just like that. All right, we'll meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, time to get these over. Look at that crust. There we go. That's what you're looking for, and those are gorgeous steak burgers. I'm gonna drop my heat down on medium. I'm gonna get my lid on and leave it cracked, just so the steam can get out of there. And I'm gonna cook them through on this. If you leave them like this, they're gonna be not done in the middle, so you need that hood, because you're going to cook from the inside out. If I take this off, I'm cooking from the outside in. I put it on, I'm cooking from the inside out, just like an oven. I'll meet you right back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, so here are our burgers. They're looking right. They're medium right now. I'm going to just slide them off. There's no heat on there. I'm going to put these lobster tails on. See that? That's how much liquid that's down at the bottom. That's what we're cooking with. We're gonna let these come up to steam. Let's park the hood on them. They're wide open. We'll let them cook. We'll meet you back here. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, 3 minutes in. That's what those guys look like. I still want more. They're not where I need them yet. I can still see the color. I'm gonna close up and let them keep steaming off. We'll meet you back here when we're done. Take a look at those hamburgers. Those are nice burgers. We're just keeping them warm there. Don't go anywhere. All right, 5 minutes in and I think I'm gonna call it. There we go. They're looking right. All right, we'll meet you on the chopping block, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, here we are on the chopping block of season 7. Steak burgers, lobster tails, and a beautiful lobster salad. Let's show you what we got. Take a look at these burgers. They're looking right. And beef tallow. Can't go wrong with this one. They smell outstanding. And our lobster tails. Now those are just in position now because all the butter melted, but look on the bottom of that. See, that's just wine and butter. Why use water? That wine brings in that flavor, and they're not sitting in the wine, so you don't have to worry about getting it on the lobster tails, but it's cooked off anyway. And that salad. Just enough for 2. And we also got those nice fried tomatoes and cornmeal. All right, time to get this plated up. Bring it in a plate. It's just 2 of us tonight. Twin Burger Deluxe. We're gonna take one of these nice burgers. I'm gonna turn this over and get it in that tallow. And then I'm gonna get it onto the bun. Just like that. I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. Let's turn it over. Get it onto that bun. There we go. We're not letting that go to waste. Alabama white sauce. I'll leave a link in the description to this white sauce. I'm gonna get a little bit on the burger, just like that. I'll start with that one, and put the hood on. And there's a beautiful Burger Deluxe. In fact, I'm actually gonna put a couple of onions on this one. There it is. Now, we can't not show you the middle of this, right? So let's just cut this open. Give you a tour of the inside of this. Look at that. Medium rare, spot on. See, those of you guys that thought that we were gonna have a well done burger, I don't think so, not today. And I'm gonna chef sample there. All right, let's plate up with this lobster. I think I'll get a couple of these tails onto the plate. It's 3 tails each. But we'll just start with 2. Just like that. We got a nice salad here. Look at that. Can't go wrong with this. Colors in there are fantastic. All right, and then we got that fried green tomato. I was gonna put them on the burger, but I think I'm just gonna park them right on the side of that salad, just like that. And there it is. I'm gonna open up this burger a bit. Let's give this a shot. Now, that's what I call a steak burger. Nothing beats this. You'll never get this in any restaurant unless you pay top dollar. It's chuck steak. You'd have to pay a ton of money just to get this eating out. And it's healthy, you're home, you're chilling out. Can't complain with this one. Fried in that tallow oil, it is spot on. I highly recommend this. Outstanding. All right, let's try that salad. Just that salad and that fried green tomato by itself is a complete meal. They work beautifully together. Excellent summertime dish. You cannot go wrong with that. It tastes all the lobster in there. It's very light. The dressing didn't overtake it. Those capers in there give just that bit of saltiness, and just perfect because we didn't put salt in this dish at all. The capers bring that through, and the flavor. Beautiful meal. All right, last but not least, let's try that tail. Now I'm gonna take this tail, pull it off the shell. We're going to dip this in some of that butter. Wow. I mean, this is a low budget meal, but it feels extremely decadent. Just to know that you can grind your own meat, sit at the house, and put something so simple and simplistic together with plenty of flavor. It's outstanding. It makes you feel like you're out by the beach just sitting down with a nice cool glass of lemonade. All right, we're gonna go organize. We're gonna meet you guys right back here, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. All right, and there it is. Beautifully fried steak burgers. We ground our own meat to bring you the ultimate surf and turf combination. We threw down with some lobster, cooked it in a wine butter sauce. You guys gotta try that one, they're excellent. And gave you a nice beautiful salad on the side, lobster salad. With bow tie noodles. That's a good one there. And we also cannot forget those tomatoes. They're an excellent one right there. That cornmeal gives the crunch of a lifetime. Like always, we thank you guys for coming. We enjoyed having you. With no further ado, gotta get that last Pitmaster fried green tomato there.